Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Okay, shalom. All right, first and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Raha, Hodash. Honors be to the elect elders of the nation of Israel that do labor and teach the truth with all truth and sincerity. Shalom to you, Akim, you hope for elect that puts the truth on the highway and hedges, making your body a living sacrifice, according to Romans 12 and verse 1. Shalom to you, sincere believers as well, which consist of men and women. Shalom, Brakathum, and as always, Abba Ball. Coming back with another video. This will be a live sit down. Okay, going into a few things as far as continue to meditate, which is think upon the great destruction that's coming to Babylon the Great, aka America, because it's very, very needed. All right, mass death, mass slaughtering, however you want to say it, is very needed. Okay, the pride of this place is way out of control, as it says in the book of Revelation 18 and verse 1. I may grab it. Shalom to the brother Yahweh. Shalom to the brother Kabashana. Shalom to you. Shalom to you, brothers. Shalom, Brakathum to you and your household, beloveds. Shalom. So, matter of fact, let's start off with that. Hit a few points, and that be pretty much it. Through the spirit of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Right? This is Revelation. Start verse 18 and straight to the point. Let's start at verse 5. And it reads, "For her sins have reached it unto heaven, and out of one Yahweh have remembered her iniquities." All right? And when we go to that word iniquity, it is pretty much continual sin. All right? These Edomites and these other nations have never shown no mercy, right? Jake has never done anything to try to learn. So it's continual sin and it's continual wickedness, all right? Continual iniquity. Verse 6, "Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works, and a cup which she have filled to her double." All right, so filled to her double. And these great destruction will be by the way of thermonuclear missiles. Okay, that will be the great destruction that is coming to Babylon the Great. So let's grab this here. Bear me 1 second. Let's see if I can find it. Yep. Let's go to the book of, bear me 1 second. Let's go to the book of Psalms 18 in verse 14. Okay, and this is also going into what the missiles as well. All right, because the missile can be likened to a glittering spear or an arrow, right? This is Psalms 18 and straight to the point in verse 14. "Yea, he sent out his arrows and scattered them, and he shot out lightnings and discomfited them." All right, once again, these arrows are likened to what? Missiles. Okay. So also let's go to here. Grab a few precepts before I grab the chapter. All right, bear me 1 second. Because like I was saying, we're supposed to be thinking and meditating on the great destruction. The fact that when you hear about war and Vladimir Putin getting riled up, okay, that is beautiful, because this is showing you that how close we are, right? How very close we are. So let's read this here in the book of matter of fact, I was going to start from top. In the book of Jeremiah 51, I'll start from top, and it reads, "Thus said the Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me a destroying wind." And that's going into what? Those missiles. Once again, these missiles are not, wasn't just invented just to be, talked about or to be displayed. Okay, it was invented to ultimately waste this place. All right, Babylon the Great, aka America, and will send unto Babylon fanners, and shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Speaking about what the other nations, because as it says in the book of Joel chapter 3, let's grab this real swift. All right, you're gonna have some American allies as well that's gonna hate, that's gonna turn on America, and we already understand that Russia is bound and determined. Okay, which all the spirit of Yahweh Shemal Shai is gonna control everything, man. Okay, matter of fact, I'm gonna drop that here. I don't need it. It's all good. So back to the book of Jeremiah. I'm gonna read this again. Bear me 1 second. And will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land. And shall what? Empty her land. You know, you got Jake in the world that would say, like these little YNs, they would say, yo, I'm gonna go air this dude out. So when the Most High says what? And I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her. Okay? That's what the Most High is saying. I'm gonna air this bitch out. All right, the bitch speaking about who? Babylon the Great. All right, that whore. Okay? And I will send unto Babylon fans that shall fan her and shall empty her land. You know what the Most High is planning on doing to Babylon the Great? Go to the book of Revelation chapter 9. You know, when you go to 200,000 missiles, going to what 200 million missiles, man. That's going to hit Babylon the Great. You have Russia, right? You have Iran, China, you know, all the other countries that have nuclear capabilities. And also, once again, America's EU and NATO is going to turn on Babylon the Great, which is known as America. For in the day of trouble, they shall be against her round about. And Shalom to the brother Shapah Tarzan, New Jerusalem 144. And Shalom to the brother Shamgar, Shalom Malak, Brakathum to you and your household kings, Shalom. And against him that bended her, let the archer bend his bow. And against him that lifted himself up in his braggart, and that word goes into a army. I'm reading the NLT, make it a little clearer. And spare you not her young men, destroy you utterly her host. Okay, so American military is going to be what? Put down. Let's prove that here. Let's read in the NLT, make it a little clearer. Don't let the archers put on their armor or draw their bows. Don't spare even her best soldiers. All right, so once again, everything about the American way is going to be what? Gone. Okay, that's why I say what the fashion of this world is going to pass away. Everything about it is going to what? Vanish. Don't let the archers put on their armor or draw their bows. Don't spare even her best soldiers. Let her army be completely destroyed. Completely destroyed. Okay, and this comes to mind. Let me grab this here. And once again, this is what? Very, very needed. Very needed. Right? Let me grab this for see if I can find it. Yep. Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 11. It says, the Adonai Yahweh shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence. Okay? And at his presence, by the what? By the way of, the missiles was likened unto what? The army. Okay? In, Yahweh Shai. All right? Yahweh Shai in the angels, man. There'll be fire coming from the chariots. So once again, this place is going to be what? Overkilled. In the world, when when a man sees his woman, committing adultery, and he kills, the man or and a woman that committed adultery, they call it what? A crime of passion. Okay. Let's read this verse 4. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. All right. Verse 5. For Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power, of the Yahweh of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel, Yasharallah. All right. So, Israel, speaking about the elect, has not been what? Forsaken. All right. So let's grab this here. Let's grab a few more. Like I said, there's pretty much a few things I had on the spirit. All right. Thinking about, the destruction that's coming. All right. It's always good to, to bring up points. All right. About the destruction, man. Because every day we one day closer. Isaiah 24 and verse 1. Behold, the Yahweh maketh the earth empty. And when you go to this word earth, it usually goes into what the word for land. Because Ecclesiastes 1 in verse 14, we know the earth abideth forever. Okay? Got to put that out there. So let's grab that word for earth usually means what? Land. And a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and grab it. Give me 1 second. Salakia. Grab this here, Salakia. Bear me 1 second so I can find it. Yep.
Strong's H 776. Eretz. Eretz.
All right, that's on the blue letter. It just means, land. It says country, territory, district, region, tribal territory, or region. And we understand that from east to west to north to south, all of Babylon, will be destroyed, according to prophecy. Behold, the Yahweh maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scatter abroad the inhabitants thereof. Let's read in the NLT. Look, the Yahweh is about to destroy the earth. He is about to destroy the earth. All right. So when you hear, about, Trump and Vladimir Putin, Ukraine shooting, doing anything with the planes with Russia, this is all great. All right. Because once again, we one day closer. Look, the Yahweh is about to destroy the earth and make it a vast wasteland. He devastates the surface of the earth and scatters the people. Okay, this place is going to be utterly destroyed. All right. And it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, so with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury. Let's read a little bit more. The land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for Yahweh has spoken this word. For Yahweh has spoken this word. And Shalom to the elder Sagalah, Brakatham to you and your household, elder Shalom. The land shall be utterly empty and utterly spoiled, for the Yahweh has spoken this word. And what the things the Most High says is going to happen, right? We understand that Numbers 23 and verse 19, the Most High not a man that he shall lie, right? So we just got to ultimately, wait and be patient, okay? Because we are getting closer. As it says in the book of Proverbs 4 in verse 18. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and grab it. I want to butcher it. So this book of Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 18, because, everything is coming more clear. It's getting even brighter. Unto that perfect day. Proverbs 4 and verse 18. But the path of the just is as the shining light that shineth more and more unto the perfect day, which is the kingdom. Okay? The things that the men's, all right, the brothers, they are called to be servants of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, is becoming brighter. Okay, and that perfect day once again is the kingdom, right? Even when someone is scoffing now, it pretty much looks worthless. It always has been worthless, but now we see that because ultimately you have a leg to stand on. Okay, because we see how close it is. When you got your own leaders talking about nuclear missiles in World War III. So what can these people really say? Right? A shalom to the brother Yeshaya, Yahweh Shah the righteous, shalom malak, brakatham to you and your household, King. Shalom. It says the land shall be utterly empty and utterly spoiled, for the Yahweh have spoken this word. The earth mourned and faded away, the world languished and faded away. The hearted people of the earth do languish. Right? Let's get that word for languish.
Strong's H535. Amal.
All right.
Gesenius lexicon. Amal.
Okay.
Or Amael.
Right.
Amael.
All right. That word goes to be weak, to droop, to languish, to be exhausted. And as I was just saying, even with these scoffers, they are pretty much they don't really have a leg to stand on. Okay. There's nothing for them really to say. As it says, the heart of people of the earth do languish. They weak. All right. They don't have that same vigor as they once had. All right. Verse 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. All right. Everything about this place was a verse to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Okay. Skip down to verse 6. I'm going to grab a few more. Therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. All right, and few men left. And we understand that the great men that will be left will be the elect. All right. Grab this last one, then we'll wrap it up. Let's see, bear me 1 second. So like, bear me 1 second. Say vanish. Should be the book of Sirach. Is it Sirach? KJV. Where's that at? Yep. Let's start Sirach. Excuse me. Sirach 40. Let's start at verse. Let me start at verse 11. Straight to the point. Sirach 40 and verse 13. The goods of the unjust shall be dried up like a river, and shall vanish with noise like a great thunder and rain. All right, and that be by the way of what? Of missiles. The Most High is going to use everything. Most High is going to dry up everything by the way of the missiles, man. All right, which is like unto what? His army. Okay. So that pretty much the point. Just want to grab a few things. This is pretty much the fundamentals. Going over as far as how this earth is going to go out. Right, which is great. Okay, it's always good to hear about World War III and nuclear missiles being speaked about, especially on the news. All right, so I'm gonna end it there. I'm gonna give all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Raha Hodash. Honors be to the elect elders of the nation of Israel that do labor and teach the truth with all truth and in sincerity. Shalom to you, Akim, your hopeful elect. All right, on highways and hedges, making your body a living sacrifice. Shalom to sincere believers, which consist of men and women. Shalom, Brakatham, and Abababal, DTA. A shalom to the brother Kabashana. Shalom. Shalom to all your brothers. The Habdon, Shalom, Brakatham to you and your household, King. Shalom.